So my name is Larissa. I am the Senior Customer Support and Relationship Coordinator for travel42 and also Star Service Online, but travel42 is our newer product and the product that we will be going through today. Travel42 includes all of the same hotel and cruise information that Star Service has, plus the destination reports. So those are the Weissman destination guides that you may remember in the big red binders. Now everything is listed on travel42. You can send it via email, you can print a PDF, you can save a PDF to your computer, you can share a custom URL. I will show you all of this information once we get logged in. But I'm hoping that we have a mix of maybe some current subscribers as well as some new subscribers. So if you are brand new, welcome. We are very happy to have you. If you would like to try out a 14-day free trial of travel42, you simply click register now up here at the top. If you currently have a subscription, you simply would just click sign in and use your user ID and password to get logged in. If you have not subscribed to travel42 before, you can reach out to me directly with any pricing questions. We do have some consortia deals as well as some group discounts. So if you're affiliated with a consortia or host agency, please let us know. We may be able to offer you a discounted rate. Normally the rate is $42 per month. But like I said, we do offer some consortia host agency deals as well as group rates. So if you're having a group that wants to sign up under one account, we can also offer you a discounted rate there. But let's go ahead and get signed in. I'm going to click sign in up here in the upper right corner. And I'm going to go ahead and sign in. First off, I just want to familiarize you. If for some reason you cannot remember your password or your user ID, you can click forgot password right here. You can also reach out to us directly to send you over the email. But if you click forgot password, it will send you an email directly so you can change the password or user ID. Let's go ahead and get signed in. And while I'm waiting for this to sign in, you can ask questions during the webinar, of course, type them in the question and answer box. I will have some time at the end of the webinar when I'm done talking where we can kind of dig into those questions that you have. So please, if I don't answer your question when you ask it, just wait till the end. Now, some questions are, I'm not saying they're personal, but some questions are more so suited for after the webinar. And if that's the case, I will give you my email address to reach out to me directly at the end of the webinar, and we can kind of discuss it offline. But let's go ahead and get started. So I am now logged in. This is the dashboard. This is where you first enter when you get logged into travel42. So you'll notice your dashboard includes all of the trip plans you've created and any travelers that you've added into travel42. Now, if you're going to send via email anything out of travel42 to someone, whether that be you or your clients, they need to have a traveler profile listed here. There are a couple different ways to do that. You can create new traveler by clicking create new traveler, where you simply need the first name, last name, and email address. Even if you're going to be sending anything to yourself, go ahead and put yourself as a client. I have myself saved as a traveler, so I can just forward myself over something if I want to see it beforehand or if I wanted to forward it to the client from my email. Save yourself as a traveler. So the required information, you have to have the traveler's first name, last name, and email address. And we don't send the travelers anything. We only send you newsletters and you information. We don't ever send your travelers any newsletters or anything like that, because travel42 is specifically for travel agents. So just any traveler wouldn't really come in and use travel42. They would get sent the information from their travel agent. Additional information, their address, phone number, email address, Skype name, display name. Display name would be what you wanted their name to show up. Oh, let me say this a little bit better. How you want their name to show up when you send them things. If you want it to be Larissa Worley, or if you wanted it to just show up as their first name, Larissa, you could put that as their display name, but that would be how their name is going to be displayed. So if their name is Larissa Jill Worley and they go by their middle name, which is Jill, maybe that's what you would put the display as name. Preferences, if you have the time, I know travel agents are very, very busy. The preferences is something very helpful to put in. So you have special needs, family info, miscellaneous. I tell a lot of travel agents, if you automatically know their birthdays, their anniversaries, any special dates that come to mind, then you can reach out to them when that date comes up or around the time of that date so you can plan another trip. I did get one question that I want to address right now. Somebody said that where they are logging in, it doesn't look the same as this. You are probably logging into the legacy site, which is the older website. This site that I am going through right now is the newer travel42 site at new.travel-42.com. Your user ID and password work for both the legacy site and the new site, but I am only going to go through the new site because the legacy site at some point in time will be going away. So I do recommend trying out this new site, getting to know the new site and kind of the features that are on the new site. But this website that we are using right now is new.travel-42.com. That's where I logged in at, and that's where this webinar will be hosted from. So once you have all the information for your client saved, you can go ahead and save new client. You only have to do that once. You do not have to add your travelers each time you send them something. Once you've added them, you can then from now on send them whatever you want out of Travel42 to that email address. Let's see here. Oh, and trip plans, of course. We'll go through trip plans in a little bit. For now, I'm going to show you how to quickly send information, and then we'll go back in and create a custom trip plan. Trip plan is mainly if you want it saved, like you'll see here, I have all these trip plans that I've created. So it's saved until I delete it. And you can also customize the trip plan. So if I quick send or quick print information, which is what I'm about to show you, that's going to send everything. That's going to send everything we have within the destination guide. That's going to send everything within the hotel. So if you don't want everything sent, that's where the trip plan would come in handy. So let's go ahead and say we're going to quick send or quick print something for a traveler. Let's say we're going, or they want to travel to Japan, which is a popular destination to be traveling to right now. So let's see, you'll see a drop down that populates. If you see what you're looking for in the drop down, perfect. Go ahead and click on it and it will take you to that either destination, that hotel, that cruise, or that see and do. So I want to look at Japan. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Japan under destination guides. That will allow me to see the Japan destination guide. So perfect. I am in the Japan guide under overview, which is correct because here is the overview tab. You'll notice that pretty much all the destination guides, the hotels, the cruises, they all look similar in that they have all their contents over here to the left and in the middle. So you'll see over here, at a glance, and here is the at a glance. So if I wanted to print this whole destination guide or send this whole destination guide, which would include the overview, the see and do tab, the dining tab, safety, and tips. All of those have little check boxes to the left of them as well. So that's what's included in the destination guide. If I wanted to send or print that guide in its entirety, I would click send or print. So if I click send, the send modal pops up. I can then type in my client's name or email address and click on it in the drop down that populates. This is where if you didn't add them as a traveler, if you're trying to send to somebody and you haven't added them, you haven't put in a profile with their first name, last name, and email address, nothing will populate here. You would need to go in and click create new traveler, which you can also do here as well. So you can go back to the dashboard and add a new traveler, or you can wait for the send modal to pop up and then create new traveler there. The same thing will pop up. You can put in their first name, last name, email address, and then you'll be able to send it to them. But since I have already added myself as a traveler, I'm just going to click on my email with my name in the dropdown. It has been added because there is now a green box around it. I am good to go. So I also want to send myself a copy. The subject of the email, if you didn't want to send yourself a copy, simply uncheck. That's all you have to do. Subject, enjoy your trip. That's what I have saved in my preferences, but you can change that. So if you wanted to say, here is some information on Japan, let me know what you think. That would be the subject of the email. You can change it to whatever you want. You can customize this, the body of your email as well. So if you wanted to put in the body, here is some information on Japan. I hope you enjoy the content and let me know what you decide. So if you were sending a couple of different options, you could always put those in the body. You could say, I sent you information on Japan, and any other destinations you might have. This would be an easy way for you to kind of get them thinking about where they want to travel to. But also remember, when you quick send or quick print, you can only do one destination, one hotel, one cruise, one thing at a time. When you start creating trip plans, you can add multiple destinations, multiple hotels to a trip plan. But when you quick send or quick print, it's just a way to get one destination guide, one hotel kind of sent to your clients quickly and easily. So once you have everything filled in, you don't have to change the subject and you don't have to put a body. The only thing that's required is the email address that we need to send this to. So I'm going to go ahead and click send email. And I know it's been sent because it says up at the top, email sent to lworley@ntmllc.com. So that is me. Let me see if I got it pulled up. Give me one moment and I'll show you what that sent email looks like. Sorry, I turn off my email during the webinars because I don't like it to be so loud, but now I have to restart it. While I'm waiting for the emails to pop up, I'm going to go ahead and go back to the dashboard. You have two ways to do that. What is over here on the left, we call breadcrumbs. That lets you know where you just came from. So what we did, I was on the dashboard and then I got to the destination guide, which is Japan. And you can see that here. So I am on the destination guide of Japan. Now I need to go back to the dashboard. So I can either click dashboard or I can click this X in the upper right corner. You'll see both of those throughout the website and either one will get you back there. All right, so email is up. Now let's see, there we go. All right, so I've gotten that email. Here's some information on Japan. I hope you enjoy the content and let me know what you decide. So the cool thing about travel42 is your clients don't know that you're getting this information from travel42. They don't know what that is. Only you know what travel42 is. They think that you've compiled all this information and you've sent them all this information. So let's go ahead and view online. Let me move that away. Okay, and here we go. Here is our Japan destination guide that your client is now, I'm pretending I'm the client right now, I'm viewing. This is what they are able to see. They don't see anywhere where travel42 created this for them. They think you put together all of this information and sent it to them so that they know what they're going to be doing when they go visit Japan. Or if they're trying to decide where they're going on vacation, they can make decisions based on this information. So obviously this is a lot of information. You have the at a glance, introduction, geography, history, snapshot, potpourri, hotel overview, see and do. You have itineraries as well. So if your clients aren't really sure of what to do, travel42 does recommend an 2-week itinerary. Local tours, dining, safety, etiquette is very helpful, especially if, say, you have a traveler that's never been there. Personal safety help. Tips are very important, at least in my opinion. Do use hashi, which are chopsticks for Japanese food. Use Western utensils and only Western utensils for Western food. stabbing your French fries with chopsticks may be fun, but it'll make you look silly. That's very helpful for somebody who may not be accustomed to Japanese traditions, and how best to act while you're over there. So this is very helpful for somebody who may have never been there before or been to that location. And most destination guides have these do's and don'ts, which I find very helpful. Geostats, which has the passport visa requirements, population, languages, religions, time zones, voltage requirements, and telephone codes. Money, tipping, weather, what to wear. So this is the whole destination guide that was sent to your client so they can review. That was how we just did that quick send. I'm going to go ahead and exit out of this and let's get back to the dashboard. So in doing that, nothing is really saved. I didn't create a trip plan. I just quickly sent over the Japan destination guide to my client. If you wanted to edit that destination guide and kind of make it maybe a little shorter, more concise, more to the point. And what I do recommend, you can do a trip plan for somebody that is preparing for a trip, like they're researching and trying to figure out where they want to go, because within a trip plan, you can add multiple destinations. So let's go ahead and click create new trips. Oh, and one other thing I want to mention with the quick send, you can also quick print. There was a print button to the right of quick send. Here, let me show you just so I have it. I'm going to go back to Japan, print. That'll pull up a PDF of the exact same information. So what I did, I sent it via email, but if you want to print or save a PDF to your computer or send them a PDF, that's what print would do. So back to the dashboard, and we're going to create a trip plan. So create new trip is how you create a trip plan, unless you want to edit a trip that you've already created. If you're editing a trip you already created, all you have to do is click the blue dot to the left and click open. That'll allow you to go into the trip plan and add information or remove information as needed. You can also resend. So if you had logged out previously and now you want to send a trip plan that you already created, you can go in and click send, print, download, or copy URL, however you want to get them the information. So let's go ahead and click create new trip. So this normally doesn't take very long because all you have to have is a trip plan name. And even if you input more information, it really doesn't take that long to type it. But I'm going to go through each detail and kind of explain a little bit. So the trip plan name, that's the only thing that's required to create a trip plan. So if you're in a hurry and you need to get this done quickly and you don't have a lot of time right now, but you just want to get the trip plan done, just go ahead and put just a trip plan name. You don't have to input anything else. And you can always come back when you have more time and kind of tweak this or add more details. So trip plan name, let's go ahead and put, let's do summer vacation 2023. I'm going to put Whirly. That way I know who this is going to be created for. So you can title it whatever you want. Sometimes, and you'll see the titles of my trip plans are pretty different. So some people just put the destination that they're going to be going to, or some people put, even if you wanted to just put one hotel in a trip plan, you could do that as well. So let's go in, especially prepared for, that was if you wanted it, like if it was a group and you're sending it to one person. If you want to say, especially prepared for Whirly bachelorette party, that's an optional feature as well. Travelers, you can put in the travelers. If you've already created the traveler, all you have to do is input the traveler's name, just like we did moments ago with sending. I already added myself, so I can add as a traveler or remove. If you needed to create a traveler, if you did not create a profile for your traveler prior, you could click this plus button and the traveler information would then pop up. Suggested retail price, that would be what the cost of this information, you just saw the vast information we had in that one Japan destination guide. That is what you creating this trip plan would cost for them. Some travel agents use it as the cost of the whole trip altogether, But normally I think what we have in there is $29.95. So you can delete it if you want. You can create your own suggested retail price. It's totally up to you. Departure and return date, you can put that in there, as well as comments that are displayed to the clients and trip notes that are not displayed to the clients. So if you want your clients to see something on the cover page, put comments. If you don't want them to see something, but you need to make a note of it, put that in trip notes. Next step is the layout, which you'll see up here at the top as well. I'm going to click layout, and you have some options here. You can show trip summary, show cover page, include business card, show images in online view, show images in PDF view. So within travel42, we do have images. If you want to print images, make sure this box is checked. If you want to show images in the online view, which is where you click send and then email, you can have this box checked as well. Business card, that's your information, which includes your headshot and your logo. Trip summary is like, the table of contents. It shows your clients kind of what is included in this information that you're sending them. And the cover page, which is black, like I can't change this right now. You have to uncheck the business card to be able to remove the cover page. So if you don't want a cover page, you're also saying you don't want to include your information as well. So you can do that, or you can, I like to keep the cover page, especially if I'm going to be sending the information, because it has a pretty, a picture, even if you don't add your own photo. We choose a picture from whatever destinations you add, or for whatever hotels you add. But if you have an image you want to use, you can upload your own image from your computer, or you can link an image from your computer. So if you find something you like, maybe from Google, or you have an image of yourself traveling to this destination or hotel, maybe put that in there as well. Otherwise, we'll pick an image for the cover page based on the information that you add. So once you've gotten all of that done, you can create new trip, and we are brought to our workspace. So what I call what we just did, at least in my words, is a folder. I just created a folder. Now I have to add information into the folder. So what you're going to do, now that we've created the folder, we need to search for information to put in that folder. So let's look at Japan again, since that is a popular destination. Now I'm not going to click on anything in here because I want to show you another way to search for things. So you have two different ways to kind of get to information. So either clicking it in the drop down here if you see exactly what you need, or click the magnifying glass to pull up search results. So this is kind of an expanded form of search results. So now I still have the destination guides. I have 26 destination guides populated for Japan, 457 see and do results, 3,546 hotels, and 305 cruises. I like to start with the destination guides. So I think we're going to go in here and click view details for Japan. Now, if I wanted to add, if I wanted to go in and add Japan as a destination guide and just do it quickly, I would simply just need to click add item. That'll allow you to add the whole destination guide into your trip plan. But if you're wanting to pick and choose kind of the items that you add, go ahead and click view details. Now we're at the exact same spot that we were before. I'm in the Japan destination guide, but I am now working on a custom trip plan. So I need to check the boxes beside what I want to add. So if I want to add at a glance, I check that checkbox. If I want to add photo gallery, I check that checkbox. You'll see that the same checkbox is checked. So no matter if you check it over here to the left or over here to the right, it has been added. So let's go ahead and add the introduction, geography, history, snapshot, potpourri, and hotel overview, because let's just pretend we're researching where we want to go and where we want to stay, or where our clients want to stay, excuse me. So see and do is the next tab. I can get to it at the bottom by clicking down here if I don't want to scroll back up, or I can click to the right of see and do. Please note that if you're just trying to get to the next tab, click to the right, because clicking this checkbox will add it to your trip plan, and you might not want to do that. If you do, of course, go ahead and check the checkbox to add all the see and do tab, but I want to kind of pick and choose what I want to add. So far I've added everything that's in the overview tab. Let's go to see and do. So we have sightseeing, recreation. I don't need spectator sports, definitely shopping. Itinerary, I'm going to add in day by day, and then local tours. So the only thing I did not select for see and do is the spectator sports. Now, you'll notice once I kind of get into the city guides, there will be actual points of interest. So there will be actual shopping, actual sightseeing, and I'll get to that here in just a moment. So then we'll go to dining, which is the next tab. I'm definitely going to add the dining overview. Safety, because they've never been out of the country before, we're definitely going to add the safety tab. Do's and don'ts, geostats, money, what to wear, communication. Now, anytime there's a green check beside of an item, that means that it's been added to your trip plan. You don't have to do anything else. If you wanted to remove something, say they're definitely not going to be mailing anything or getting packages, you can always uncheck by clicking on it again, and it will remove that check, which will in turn remove it from your trip plan. Transportation is going to be important, so we're going to go ahead and add transportation information, and then I'm going to add tourist office, additional resources, and then recommended reading. Hotels is next, but I'm not going to go to the hotels tab yet because I want to find the destination that they're going to be going to find the hotel within that city. To do that, you can either go back to the dashboard and start searching again, or we can go to this related tab, which will pull up destinations nearby to Japan or within Japan. So we've got Tokyo, Osaka, Himeji, Japan, Hiroshima. You've got a lot of different options. So now we're going to be adding a second destination guide because I want to get more to where they're actually going to be. Japan is just kind of informative for them to let them know a little bit about Japan. But let's go into, let's say, Tokyo, Japan. So same thing. I'm going to click view details to pull up Tokyo, Japan. And it looks pretty much the same as what it did before, right? So it looks like our Japan destination guide. I'm in my overview, which I'm going to add the photo gallery. I'm going to add the introduction, highlights, geography, history, potpourri, and hotel overview. I left that port information out because they're not going to be cruising. But let's see. Next, we'll go to the see and do tab, and you'll notice all the check boxes are here as well. So I've checked everything I need to over to the left, but they also correspond over to the right too. So see and do is the next tab. And we should notice some points of interest popping up here. So sightseeing, so far it looks similar. We'll add the sightseeing overview. Now we have some amusement parks that have populated. So you'll also see some of these gold ticket items. Those are points of interest that our editorial team and our global correspondents highly recommend. So those are definitely good ones to check out. Now we have some historic sites. Ooh, we've got a lot of gold ticket items within the Tokyo guide. Tokyo Skytree. Then we've got some museums that I'm going to add in there as well. Now, each destination guide is different in how many points of interest there are. We have curated these guides for you and have curated the guides, excuse me, and have picked the best points of interest to go visit while you're in these destinations. So now we're just picking and choosing, and you can add a lot more than what you think, especially if they're researching what they want to do and what they want to see. And as you start, or as your clients start picking what they want to go see for sure, then you can start removing things as needed. But it's always nice to kind of know what you're going to see before you actually go on the vacation, especially if it's somewhere that you've never been and out of the country, because that could end up being a very long trip. Parks and gardens. Then you have recreation, bicycling, bird watching, golf, hiking and walking. We'll go ahead and add that one in there. Mount Fuji, horseback riding, jogging, spas for sure. And see, when I checked add all spas and health club items, it went ahead and checked all of them. You've got swimming, nightlife. We'll add nightlife in there too. So you can see with this destination guide, especially, it's nice to go through and kind of pick and choose what you want, because if I were to say print this one in its entirety, it would kind of be a long destination guide. But I'm going to be emailing this one, so they'll be able to see it online. We'll add in some theater. We didn't want to do any spectator sports, so I'll leave that out. Shopping, some antique stores, bookstores, yes, department stores, markets, got shopping areas, specialty stores. Oh, and then here's our itineraries. So this one's always a good one to add. You can definitely read through them and find out if it's applicable for your travelers based on where they're going to or where they're coming from. But these are very helpful if you kind of need something to give them in the form of an itinerary. And it's already preloaded in here. Next is dining. If we needed to go back to the overview tab, we could to edit anything, but I'm going to go next to dining. I'm going to add the dining overview. Local and regional, I always love to add. So I'm going to add all of those. And then you have some other cuisines as well. American, Asian, Italian, vegetarian, continental, and then other options. Safety is the next tab. Etiquette, personal safety, health, disabled advisory. And like I said, I always like to add this information. Money, what to wear, weather. We'll skip the communication tab. Okay, events is going to be our last tab. And if they were traveling during a certain month, you can add that specific month, or you can add all the events, totally up to you. But some people like to travel when it's very busy in a destination, and some people like to travel when it's a little quieter. So this could help you make your decision. Now for Tokyo, I am going to go to the hotels because they are going to be staying in Tokyo. So here, I have pulled up hotels. Now, for me, for my preferences, it might not be the same as you, but I'll show you how to change preferences once we get to the end. But basically, my preferences state that I want to see the most stars first. So any 5-star properties will show up first, and then it'll slowly narrow down to the smaller stars as you go down. So starting out are the highest rated hotels. That's what I always see. Now, if yours is different and you want to see it that way, you can go to filter hotels. You can show only 5-star, only 4-star, only 3-star, 2-star, 1-star. You can show only hotels with a star review. You can show a specific amenity rating. If you know the exact hotel name, if you only know the first letter of the hotel by chain or hotel rep size or hotel size. Hotel preferences, location, and type. So there are filters you can use to narrow down your results. But let's just go in and look at a hotel itself just to see what it looks like. So very similar to what we saw before, add item if you wanted to add the whole hotel, view details. Now, please remember these send and print buttons that you see here or up at the top of the destination guide, that doesn't take into account your customized selections. That will still only send or print the whole destination guide or the whole hotel. So since we're in a custom trip plan and I am adding custom items, I'm not doing anything with these send or print right now. That's only if I wanted to quickly send something or print something, but I'm working on a trip plan. So I'm going to click view details. Now this is a hotel. This is a hotel listing that we have within Travel42. It does have a star review because you'll see the star review tab right here. If you only see overview property map, there is no star review. That means we have not physically sent someone to review this property, which is what we do with any star review. So basic info, if you wanted to add that with the COVID-19 policies, you can go in and check just like we did with the destination guide. If you want to add the photos, check the photos or check the specific photo you want. Booking info is never included. That is only for your eyes only. So nobody will ever see that but you. Star review is the next tab. You can add the review by checking the checkbox to the right or to the left of star review up here on the left. So that has been added. Now you'll notice the star review is broken down into location and history, property overview, accommodations, non-standard amenities, and advisor notes. Property is going to be next. Room amenities, hotel facilities, restaurants on site. I don't need anything with meetings. Recreation, rates and policies, and then location. And then if you wanted to add the map, you could do that as well. Let's go back. Let's use our breadcrumbs up at the top to go back to the Tokyo hotels, because right now I'm in the actual hotel. I'm in the Amman Hotel. Now, you can also use your back button on the browser, however is easier for you, but I like to use the breadcrumbs because I know exactly where I'm going to be going. So I want to go back to Tokyo hotels. And here we go. Now let's look at the next one. We'll click view details. And you can add multiple hotels to your trip plan if they wanted to kind of pick and choose what hotel would work best for them. So I'm going to do this one quickly. Perfect. So I've added 2 hotels into my trip plan. Let's see. We'll add another one in there. View details. Just to give them some options to choose. Oh, we won't add the map that time. Okay, so back to Tokyo hotels. Well, this one looks really pretty. So let me view that one. Oh, the outside is beautiful. So let's go ahead and add that one. Remember, booking info is not included. We'll do the star review. And then the property. So now they can pick and choose which hotel they want to stay at. Awesome. So now that I've added everything into my trip plan, I can either send the trip plan, print the trip plan, or I can schedule the information within the trip plan. So let's go ahead and use this X this time. It'll take me back to my dashboard. And here is the trip plan I just created. So I'm going to go into the trip plan by clicking open. And here is all the information that I added. I added 2 destination guides. I added 4 hotels. I added 73 see and do items. I think there was a question that popped up. How do we add information that's not in travel42? That can be done by custom places. So if you click to the right, it says add a custom place. I'm going to click on that. It'll pop up where I can add a custom place. That can be anything that's not within travel42. We have some different place types that you can add. So airport, city, cruise ship, cruise, dining, event, hotel, office, other, residence, transportation, see and do. So if there's something that you know you want your clients to see, but it's not in travel42, this would be the best place to do that. It'll show up just like its own little listing. And you can format it. I believe you can add photos and hyperlinks as well into this custom place. So I always tell people it could be like maybe a restaurant that is not in travel42, or maybe they're staying at an Airbnb, which of course we don't really have Airbnbs under the hotels tab, but maybe you want to put that one in there is so that they can review it. But that would be how you would add a custom place. And you can add multiple custom places. Just based on your client's preferences or where they're going to be going. This can also be the place where you would add, say, their airfare. So you could put in the airport, the place, the address of the airport, when they need to get there, what their flight number is, any information that would be helpful for them to get on the airplane. But I'm going to go ahead and exit out of this. Now, this trip plan can be totally done. You can send the trip plan as is with all the items you've collected. If you ever need to make any updates to the item, say, oh, I wanted to add something in Japan and I forgot. You can click to edit. It'll take you right back to that Japan destination guide, and then you can edit it from there. So if you needed to remove something, say, I don't want history anymore, take it away. History is removed. Now we can go back to our trip plan. If you needed to add something else, you would simply just search in the search bar and do exactly the same thing we did moments ago. We're still working in this trip plan, so anything we do will be reflected in this trip plan. Okay, perfect. So I think we're good on this trip plan. Now, if you wanted to send it from here, simply click the blue dot in the upper right corner, send, print, download, copy URL. Copy URL will create you a custom link that you can then paste in an email or paste anywhere. Honestly, you just hit Control-V to paste it and it'll pull up your trip plan for your client. So trip plan URL has been copied. If I put it in an email and sent it to my clients and they go in and click and put in their, their trip plan link, this is what it's going to look like. So here's the sent trip plan or the copy URL, the URL that comes up. It shows the cover page with your, as the travel agent, your logo, your headshot, and your business card, all of your information, as well as that beautiful image that we picked from travel42. So next, here's that trip summary I was talking about. It shows exactly what is in the trip plan. Then we go into the information. So here is the Japan destination guide that I added. Here's the Tokyo, Japan destination guide that I added. So it shows everything that your client can then go through. Now, your client has the capability to also turn this into a PDF if they wanted to print it off. So they can do that as well. But that just opened up a separate URL. So I'm going to exit out of it. And now I'm back in my trip plan. Real quick, organizing the information. You can change the order of anything that is in travel42 just by dragging and dropping it where you want it to go. So if you want Tokyo, Japan to show up first, then Japan to show up next, then your hotels, you can just drag and drop it. If you wanted to put it on an actual calendar, if you wanted to show them the exact dates that they're going to be somewhere, you simply drag the item that you want to show up on the calendar and drop it into the specific date that they're going to be traveling. You can only do one or the other. So if you schedule something on a calendar, you can no longer change the order unless you do it within the calendar. Preview, that's a total, both of these are optional, organize and preview. You do not have to do those unless you wanted to. Preview is simply just a preview of what you've done so far, of your trip plan that you're going to be sending to your clients. So if you are done completely working in a trip plan, you would click the little circle up in the left and save and close. That will allow you to save and close. Now, I'm going to kind of answer another question that I had seen. The way to add, if you wanted to add an image of your own for the cover photo, which that is the only way to go in and add photos, by the way, either through the cover page or the custom place that I mentioned under the collect tab. But to do that, to add your own image, you would click edit details, go to layout, and then upload an image or link an image. Like I said, you can also do the custom place. You would do that under collect. Remember, collect is where you edit the information in your trip plan. Organize is how you organize the information in the trip plan. And then preview is just seeing it all together. So that would be the way to add photos. Now, I want to go over a couple more things, just some items that are beneficial to you as the travel agent. So I'm going to save and close my trip plan. It'll always be saved here for me. So if I wanted to send or print it, I can always do that at any time. So you have a news and alerts tab up here at the top. This features some of our recently updated destinations, hotels, travel alerts powered by IntelliGuide, and then the blogs from Travel Age West, Travel Weekly, and Travel Pulse. Restrictions powered by Sherpa. This allows you to see what restrictions are in place when you travel from a certain destination to a certain destination. And then you have a lot of filters as well that you can use. E-Visa, this opens up a separate tab if you ever needed to purchase an e-visa for your client's travels, or if your client needed to purchase an e-visa, you can do that right in travel42. The help tab, it also opens up another tab. And this is where all of our recorded webinars are. So if you ever get stuck, go to the help tab. If you're not sure where to start, just search for what you're having trouble with. It'll most likely pull up something from an article in the frequently asked questions and tips and tricks, but you can also go to live webinars and on-demand training to watch some previously recorded webinars. If If you have a question and need support, you can submit a request under the help tab as well. So back to Travel42, that was all of these tabs. Next is your profile information. This is where your business card is. So this is where you would upload your logo. This is where you would upload your headshot and input all of the information to log in, or I'm sorry, not to log in, to show your client your information when you send them a trip plan or print for them a trip plan. Now, I mentioned earlier that I like to see all the hotels starting at 5 stars and then working their way down. That's where the preferences comes in place. So preferences under search preferences, the items below control the default search values when listing hotels. So I have the sort order by star rating. Now, I don't check the hotels that have star reviews only because I like to see them all. And it's also it's really quick to see the star ratings when you're looking in the filters under the hotels. But if you only like to see star reviews, you can check this one and hit save. But definitely go through your preferences. Travel42 is meant to help you and get you to quickly get information to your clients and make you sound like the expert. That is pretty much it for going through kind of the basic overview of Travel42. I'm going to put my profile up because I do have my email address listed. Now, this is the website that we were just at, new.travel-42.com. If you end up at the legacy site, that's fine. Oh, forgot a W. Oh my goodness. www.travel-42.com. You can go to the new Travel42 by clicking the big white button that says go to the new Travel42. That'll take you right to new.travel42.com. But here is my email address. Should you have any questions after this webinar, I'm going to go through just a little bit on some of the questions I've gotten asked, but I'm going to stop the recording and I want to thank you all for joining. So the recording will be